It's a returning champion, Elgintensity, aka Trapvin Klein, and all of this is Bridget Klein Simpson, who's a cheesecake away from getting on a Calvin Klein billboard. He signed up at a women-only gym in Canada, only to be banned from that facility days later and referred to its co-ed location instead. Let's hear the full story about this unholy amalgam of Chris Chan and Chris Farley.
28-year-old Bridget Klein Simpson has identified as a woman for years, and she wants to get into better shape, so she went to the Bodyworks gym for women in Parksville for a membership. Klein Simpson says she was initially welcomed, but after one workout she was informed she was not allowed at the women's-only gym.
In an interview he claimed, "One of the trainers there greeted me, and she was extremely kind, and she could basically tell I was trans right away and said I would be welcome there and explicitly said I would be safe as well, even gave me a hug. No periods, like speaker, like sentence. Anybody can tell that's a man and that he'd be safe at a ladies' gym. That's like telling Buffalo Bill that he'd be safe at a plus-size photo shoot." She said she signed her membership agreement on the spot and returned Friday, having a great time as she worked out for more than an hour. There's no way that sloth worked out for more than an hour. The only power move he performed at that gym was leaving the toilet seat up.
Saying, "Sorry, we made a mistake. You're not actually allowed to be here, but you're more than welcome to use the co-ed facility." And I kind of just hung up because I was
That mellifluous voice.
devastated. I mean, there's really no other word for it.
Cock-blocked. The gym mainly devastated his hopes of being in a women's locker room without repercussions. The trainer was probably afraid of causing a scene by addressing the 800-pound butterfly in the room, so she waited to make a phone call instead. She definitely didn't make a mistake. Girls are pretty good at picking up hints, whether from missing strawberry jam or bulging Adam's apples.
Klein Simpson changed her gender and name legally close to 2 years ago, and she's been on hormone replacement therapy for more than 3 years.
I doubt that he's been on hormone therapy for 3 years when he still looks and sounds so much like a guy, and he's probably always had those moobs. It doesn't help that Klein Simpson's built like Homer Simpson if he passed on the moo-moo, and he can gain access by pressing any key when prompted to give his gender.
She says she wants to work out at a women's-only gym where she will feel comfortable, unlike her experiences at gyms while in university.
He says he had a rocky relationship with exercise. Now he wants a rocky Dennis relationship with women trying to exercise by freaking them out, except this guy does it on purpose. I fell out of it in university because I was just kind of intimidated being around a bunch of mostly really buff guys at the university gym. That's not how a real woman in Klein Simpson's tier would react to a bunch of men trying to get pumps. So finding a ladies' gym was something that seemed really exciting, and now that I'm out, I understand why I was comfortable at the other place. Plenty of trans women go to co-ed gyms, and go on to break women's sports records. There will be plenty of ham planets at any gym, and they'll all experience difficulties at first. He shouldn't receive special treatment, like the chance to make women uncomfortable at a gym designed for them.
I didn't quite understand why that was like uncomfortable because I didn't know I was trans at the time. I still thought I was a guy as well. But
Why does the reporter look like he's proposing? I don't know if I'm watching Canadian news or I now pronounce you Chuck and Larry Wachowski.
it was just important to me to like be in a place that would be like explicitly accepting, like, you are a woman. You can, you're allowed to be here.
You're not a woman, bro. You look like Stephen King in the fat suit from Thinner. All Bodyworks did was reject your delusions and prevent you from getting your way, no matter how much disruption you'd cause.
The gym's owner says members have a diversity of sexual identities, but he believes Klein Simpson would fit better at their co-ed gym,
If gender identities had the same range as his sit-ups, the world would be a much better place.
where there are gender-neutral change rooms.
Do we pick the comfort of the transgender person, and they may not be as comfortable with the co-ed gym, but at least that's an alternative? Or do we pick the comfort of the young girls that are working out there? They may not feel comfortable. I don't know if is that fair to them, and what would parents think? What would you think if this is your daughter there?
Plus, they'll eventually cancel their memberships and go to a facility where they won't have to check for Peter Griffin towel flossing before they get dressed.
Negra says he's open to ideas and options. Klein Simpson says she understands some may be uncomfortable with trans people.
But he doesn't care. That narcissist won't even find a filming location where they can both sit. Apparently, the only way to interview this MTF is to be on bended knee like Boys to Men.
I mean, all it takes is education. I mean, like once you understand, like trans women are women, trans men are men, non-binary people are who they say they are, and
This is indoctrination, not education. Fortunately, that kid in the background can't hear this crap. Unfortunately, he'll be exposed to it elsewhere.
I mean, it's as simple as that. Like, and if you're still if you still feel uncomfortable after that, I mean that's on you.
said the woman sitting like that to give his balls room to breathe. It's not our fault for pointing out the safety issues of women potentially being alone with Ray Finkel while he's tucking back Captain Winky.
She's going public because she doesn't want this to happen to other trans people. She says she's considering a complaint to BC's Human Rights Tribunal.
Until then, we have this idiot. Trans people deserve to feel safe, welcome, and affirmed for who they are. Trans women are women, period. At a time when trans people are under increased attack around the world, it's up to all of us to speak out and to help break down barriers that transgender people face. Those barriers being the ladies' room doors. Imagine seeing that lummox waddling through one. You say your girlfriend's in there and he replies,
Hey, a lot of people's girlfriends are in there.
no matter how this complaint is resolved, Klein Simpson is probably a typical January sign-up who won't go to any gym again, let alone the one that banned him. He doesn't need a gym anyway. He needs a caloric deficit and daily long walks to a psychiatrist's office. He did this to attract attention and gain acceptance, even though he's a big chungus who looks like he's part of an 80s rock band. Hopefully he doesn't invade other women-only gyms, or we might hear about a heavy metal guy locking a woman in a suspect embrace like an MLK statue.
0.
Like the video and subscribe to the channel, now.